Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Forecast, and in today's we'll be going through my championship predictions for Game Week 27. And if you want to see any more championship content on the channel, I do an English football roundup where I discuss the championship, the Premier League, some other leagues in England as well as talking about the news and so there's some transfer news right now because we're in the transfer window. So anyway, starting off with West Brom at home to Middlesbrough. This is the first game on the Friday night. I quite like the look of this game. We get to see West Brom's new manager, Eric Ramsey, in action up against a very strong Middlesbrough side who are currently second in the Championship. West Brom are struggling right now in 18th place, and I think most people expected West Brom to be closer to a promotion spot than a relegation spot. And look, they're under threat right now. West Brom need to start picking it up very quickly to make sure they get out of the relegation dogfight and get a decent finish in the Championship. And West Brom do have a decent squad, and I think we're about to see somewhat of a manager bounce for this game. I don't think West Brom are going to win it, but I do think it will be ending a draw. I think that'd be a decent point for Borough. You can't expect to win every game, especially in the Championship, and I think the Baggies will be happy with that as well. Middlesbrough's form's been a bit in between recently. Their last Championship game, though, was a brilliant 4-0 win against Southampton, so they definitely could win this game. So then we're on to a derby between Coventry and Leicester. And Coventry's form recently hasn't been great in the Championship, and they're starting to struggle, but I still think Coventry will most likely go up in first. I definitely think Cov will get promoted. I just think they're too far clear of everyone else in the league. And Frank Lampard's also given them a couple of weeks off, resting in the cup to try and get them ready for the rest of the season. We'll be hoping that he can get his Coventry side promoted. Leicester are a bit of a weird side right now. Their form's pretty inconsistent, and they're a side that has so much quality, but they just can't get it to click together, and they very much rely on individual quality and moments in games. I think we'll see Coventry get back to winning ways in this game. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Cov. So then we're on to Ipswich at home to Blackburn. Ipswich are currently in third place, looking to get promoted to the Premier League. And Blackburn have had 4 draws recently in their last Championship games. The other problem for Blackburn is the fact that they've been struggling to score. They've failed to score in 3 of those games and also failed to score in the FA Cup game. For this reason, I think we're looking at a low-scoring game, but Ipswich are going to win 1-0. The reason why I think Ipswich probably only put 1 past is Blackburn have kept a couple of clean sheets recently. So then we've got a big game actually in the Championship between Watford and Millwall. Two sides that are very much fighting for promotion and trying to at least get themselves in the playoffs. We've got Watford who are in 6th place, Millwall who are in 5th place. And looking at the form of the two sides, Watford are in the better form right now and are at home for this game. So I do think it may end in a Watford win. Millwall also have quite a few injuries right now. So for that reason, I think I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Watford. So then we've got Charlton at home to Sheffield United. Two sides that went out of the FA Cup. Sheffield United in disappointing fashion against Mansfield. They did rotate. Charlton losing to Chelsea, which you would expect. The thing about Charlton is they're usually very strong defensively and a team that you can't push over. So I'm expecting that sort of approach from Nathan Jones and Charlton, especially considering the fact they're going up against a Sheffield United side, which have started to find some form under Chris Wilder. For this game, I think I'm going to go with a 2-0 away win for Sheffield United. So then we're on to Oxford at home to Bristol City, and the big talking point for this game is that Matt Bloomfield has been appointed as Oxford manager, replacing Gary Rowett, who, if you actually said who's the manager you want to keep them up in Oxford's position where they have a low quality squad and a 23rd, you'd probably say Gary Rowett, but they clearly feel with Oxford in 23rd place, a new manager is what they need to survive the Championship. I think for this game they might get a little bit of a manager bounce, so I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw between Oxford and Bristol City. So then we're on to Preston at home to Derby. Preston are currently 4th in the Championship, 3 points off the automatics. And if they do that, I will be surprised. I didn't expect Preston to be this high up the table at this point in this season. Derby have been alright so far this season, sort of lingering around mid-table. They'll be hoping they can make a push to get into playoffs. I think for this game, though, I am expecting a Preston win. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Preston. So then we've got Wednesday at home to Portsmouth, and Portsmouth have to be looking at this game and saying we have to win because Portsmouth need to start picking up points to stay up. Sheffield Wednesday are already down. Everyone knows this. There's no chance Wednesday stay up. And right now, it's hard to see Wednesday getting anything from these sorts of games. This is a sort of game where maybe they have a chance because it's at home, it's against a side that it also isn't great in the league. But the quality gap between Wednesday and the rest of the sides is huge because of obviously what's happening at the club with Chancerin basically ruining the club. I think for this game, I'm going to go with a 2-0 away win for Portsmouth. So then we're on to Southampton at home to Hull City. A difficult game to predict, I'd say, in the Championship. Southampton were looking like they were starting to pick up their form, but in the last couple of weeks, their last 4 games haven't been able to pick up a win in the Championship. Hull City have been pretty good in the Championship recently. I don't think Southampton will lose this game, but I don't think they'll win it. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw between these two sides. So then we've got Stoke at home to QPR. And I think the big news going into this game is Johansson is still out for Stoke, which is a massive injury for them. He's a great keeper, and I'd be surprised if he's at Stoke by the end of the season. Stoke have been really good defensively, but he's been a huge factor in why that has been happening. For QPR, some mixed form in the Championship in their last 4 games. They did win against Wednesday 3-0, but does that really count? Because basically everyone wins against Sheff Wednesday because of the situation they are in. I think for this game, I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Stoke. So then we've got Wrexham at home to Norwich. Wrexham are playing really well currently in the Championship and have scored 2 more goals in their last 4 games in the Championship. Wrexham also went through against Forest in the Cup, so they're going to be on a bit of a high going into this game. Norwich's form hasn't been awful recently, and the big news around Norwich is Josh Sargent is handed in a transfer request. They are, though, 22nd in the league, and they're really struggling right now, Norwich. And you're going to expect this to be a difficult game for Norwich. Wrexham's home form is very good. And for that reason, I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Wrexham. So finally ending off with Swansea at home to Birmingham. And Birmingham are a good side, but away from home, they are really struggling. And that is the major problem for Birmingham. If they turn this around, then they're in a good chance of actually getting into one of those playoff spots because of the poor away form for Birmingham. And Swansea doing alright right now in the Championship. I think I'm going to go with a Swansea win. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Swansea. Birmingham defensively need to improve away from home. Let me know your thoughts on these Championship predictions. And if you enjoy this video, subscribe to the channel as well as liking the video.